So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again, the weekly Real Talk podcast, every Monday, where we siphon through all the shit, basically, and get down to the nitty gritty. And we've got plenty to talk about, that's for sure. Trossard's injury, Arsenal looking to upgrade their stadium. Don't worry about the players. We'll just put more seats in. So we're going to talk about that as well. Also, Jez's link and Matty's link for their channels are in the title, and Kenny's Insta's pinned in the live. But Jez, how are you, mate?
Yeah, well, good, mate. Yeah. Lots to debate, I suppose, is the professional way of putting it. But dear God, this club, man, you just can't make it up, can you? It's fantasy football at Arsenal, you know. But we'll talk about that. But yeah, big up Kenny and Matty as well.
Yeah, how are you, Matty? You good? You're on mute, man.
I'm on mute, brother. I'm just talking and I'm on mute. Had a good time last night with you, brother, and glad to be back, man. And got a lot to talk about, man. The injury bug is bitten again, and it's gonna keep biting and biting and biting. So,
yep, exactly. Not like we didn't predict it, but what do we know? How's your Monday, Kenny? How you been, mate?
Oh, it's been good. You know, I've seen 8 goals involving England. Against an average team and a very, very, very poor Republic of Ireland team. But one thing we got to learn about in football is that as soon as we invite the corporates into our beautiful game, along with their businessmen, then we can't put the genie back in the bottle. Any club that wants to upgrade their stadium only wants to do it because they want to get more business in, and it's not from normal fans, from the corporates.
Well, exactly. And we'll be paying for it. Well, you will with your season ticket increase that no doubt will happen. But yeah, let's start straight off on that. Jez, apparently it's going to cost around £500 million to install 20,000 new seats. Obviously, they're going to have to ponce around with it and do one end at a time. So it could end up with us relocating to Wembley while they do it. Not sure. Obviously, it's not gone through planning permission yet, but I'd imagine, I said this last night on the show, I'd imagine that this was probably part of the contract anyway, when they signed up for the Emirates to get the stadium done. Maybe there was some clause in there or some thing that they could activate, maybe, that they could upgrade it later down the road, depending on how it went, because I don't see how this is going to be a problem getting through planning permission, if I'm being honest. But what do you make of it?
Well, it's interesting. It's going to cost £500 million.
Yep.
The stadium only cost about 400 million to bleed and build. That's the whole thing. Now, I know prices go up. Fair enough. I get that. But I'm sure that's obviously got to include a few brown envelopes in there for a few people. But why don't we actually invest in the team and get a team that actually can win, and get a manager that can win trophies, and out of the proceeds of winning, you then upgrade the stadium. Does that not make business sense? I mean, or is it just the fact that we don't give a shit about winning anyway? We're just going to get more bums on the seats and get more money. That makes sense to me, guys. It all smells very wrong to me.
Well, I just think it's another excuse to keep him here. Like, we're going to do another build. Well, this is why we kept Wenger for so long. Oh, he had to oversee the stadium build. Yeah, now we're going to see Arteta overseeing the upgrade. Yeah, and it's just another excuse for not spending.
Have a high vision yellow hat on, is he? Up the step.
Yeah, standing there with his hard hat on. Looking like Lego Man, builder version. But,
no, good. He could put the cones out. It'd be good.
What do you make of it, Kenny? Obviously, if this does happen, it's going to affect your season ticket cost.
Well, yeah, they know I'm a sure thing. They know I'm going to pay them through the nose, no matter what. But I think what's happened is that there's a couple of open goals and reasons that we could work out for ourselves. The most important reason is the success of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We beat ours in 2006. They've been in there since 2019, and they've turned it into a very, very good business where they could hold boxing matches. they can hold rugby league, NFL, and they can hold concerts. Whilst the Emirates Stadium can do the same, but obviously they've got Robbie Williams coming soon. But most importantly as well, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is going to be holding matches for the Euro 2028. So that's a consideration. The club will tell you that since lockdown, there's been a huge demand of tickets. The club haven't been able to, satisfy that demand. So they feel they build increase the capacity by 20,000. It will actually meet demand for fans to get tickets, and there'll be no fans missing out. That's what they're going to tell you. But what they're really, really, really telling you is that they want to be able to compete with the money that Tottenham are going to bring in. Plus, they're anticipating that Chelsea are going to build a new ground. West Ham's ground is virtually new because they've been there since 2016, 2017. They're holding all sorts of tourneys there as well. And, they got the passage to increase their stadium because they're in the middle of a bowl. Whilst the Emirates Stadium, although it's in the middle of a bowl, it's still a bit residential. So it's all about money. But most importantly as well, it's the corporates. The fact is that out of those 20,000 seats, there's going to be at least 10,000 of those seats and go to corporates. So in that respect, fans are only going to be getting an extra 10,000 in seating. But and there is a situation, don't get me wrong. There is probably no need for us to move to Wembley because you would have thought that it's not going to affect the residents. But if we do move to Wembley, then it's only going to be for about maybe a couple of years or so. But any football fan that's rejoicing about us getting a 80,000 stadium, think again, because it's not really going to benefit you. It's all about the club. And yeah, you're right. It's going to affect the transfer budget big time. Logically, it will. Clapham and Spurs. The fact is that they had a very good, good team under the Poch, but they weren't able to sort of build on that and add little, extra pieces of the jigsaw because, let's face it, they had more important things, the business side of the club, and that's the thing. The next CEO who comes to this football club and probably the next director of football is basically going to be there, and their primary job is to sort of oversee the stadium and try and get more sponsorship in and more investment towards it, so the club pay less. But I'll tell you one thing now. Arteta's remit now more than ever is to basically get in the top four. He gets in the top four, then he's got a job for life at a football club.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we'll be in phase 12. Me and Matty were talking about this last night. We'll be in phase 12. Win would have had puppies, and they'll be having puppies. Like, it's just a circus, isn't it? Let's be real with it, yeah? All well and good upgrading the stadium, cool. Yeah, you want to keep up with the times and that. But at the end of the day, like you just said, yeah, how many of these seats are actually going to go to fans? Yeah, not only that, yeah, it's going to affect us on the pitch because we've seen this before. Yeah, this is going to cost more than the stadium cost because of inflation and stuff like that. Yeah, and like the cost of materials and so on and so forth. Yeah, we're going to be shafted, mate.
Sorry,
Yeah,
one more thing. Sorry, before you get to Matty, the biggest winners here, more than anyone else, isn't actually the football club. It's down the Borough of Islington, but the borough I grew up in and where I'm from. They're going to be the biggest winners because it's a win-win. They get more business rates, they get extra business, and who knows, they might get the club a late licence. But most importantly, the club stays in Islington. When logically, if you think about if you wanted more space, you could either go to Wembley or to York Way, which comes under Camden, which covers some part of Camden.
Yeah, Matty, we obviously spoke a little bit last night, but what have you thought about it since?
It's a waste of time for me. I mean, where the trophies at, man? Where's the success? Because we were told back in the day, we're moving from Highbury to the Emirates to win trophies, and now we're gonna add on when we ain't won no trophies. And I don't hear nothing about this FA Cup. We talked about that. I don't hear nothing about Unai Emery's trophy that Arteta picked up just happen to pick up on the job. Where are the real trophies at here? Where's the Champions League trophies at? Because like we talked about last night, we've been in this competition here for 2 years now. We were told that we were going to buy world-class players, quality players. And where are they at? But now all of a sudden we can go find money to add on to a stadium. It took you forever, from what I was told, to even repaint the damn thing. I'm still hearing people say folks got internet trouble over there. How about you update that? $25 for a hamburger, hot dogs, chips, crackers, juice. I know how it runs because it's the same thing over here. Look, this is another case of the club wanting to throw what I like to call it. They like to throw. You ever seen a dog where you throw the ball? You got like you throw it, the dog take off running, but you still got the ball in your hand. This is what
like watching Eddie Nketiah run on the football pitch.
Yeah. It's like Arsenal. They do this all the time when they know it's going bad. It's no coincidence this has come out on the worst patch of games we've had this year. This is another case of the club trying to finesse everybody. This is finessing that they love to do. This football club is done. This manager is done. The real thing that needs to be discussed is why were the players not brought in? Why were $500 million worth of players not brought in this summer? That's the discussion that needs to be had. Where are the world-class players at? If you can find $500 million to add on to the stadium, surely you can find the same amount to bring in quality players in this football club. You spend it. You spent $800 before. Well, let's add another $500 and go find the best. This is all trash, man. We've lived through this before, and they're going to try to sell it like this is going to take us to the next level. You already know the bozos are going to attach right onto it. Oh, yeah, this is going to get us in the next echelon. We're going to be able to compete with Bayern Munich now. Look at what they've done. They're going to start pulling up everybody else's stadium graphs and how they expanded and how much is went into the budget and how much is done this and how many players. We know what's coming. This is just a load of wash for me until I see some true success, because all that stuff don't matter to me. I want to see the trophy cabinet. As much work as they put into stuff off the pitch, I want to see them put the same amount of work onto what's on the pitch. That's what I care about. I'm at that stage now. All this adding on the stadiums and roofs and retractable roofs and grass that you can put a sun in the stadium itself and water the grass. I don't care about all that. I care about success right now. Anybody else that cares about that, that's on you. But for me, all I care about right now is trophies and success, and I'm not seeing any of it right now. We're barely going to make the Champions League. What I told you last night, Lee. I told Ken, I don't know if you saw, but I said it again right here, right now. We are barely going to make the Champions League this year at the rate we're going, and so none of this won't even matter.
Yeah, well said. Absolutely spot on.
The other thing is, Lee, sorry to interrupt, is when we back in the 90s knocked down the North Bank, completely rebuilt it into a 2-tier, we still played at Highbury. Didn't go to play at Wembley, did we?
Nope.
We they put that stupid mural up. Do you remember the mural?
Yeah, covered up.
I remember that, the mural, and then it kind of like made that sort of funny faces whenever we scored.
Yeah.
I think what it is that in the 70s and 80s, if you watch like the ITV4, the big match revisited, especially if you look at games not so much involving the Arsenal, although Arsenal will be involved, but especially the Tottenham, it was a norm to have parts of the stadium closed off because of rebuilding, but because football's always been money orientated, but not like it is today. These days, you can't afford to have like an empty closed part of the stadium. The only time you have a closed part of the stadium is UEFA or the Premier League or the FA close just part of the stadium down. But what they do now is that they invariably will move to like a temporary stadium for like a couple of years. Obviously, Spurs did it with Wembley between 2017 and 2019, and logically Arsenal will do it as well, because it's all you've got to do is just get on the Metropolitan or the Hammersmith City or Jubilee just to get to the ground. So that makes a lot of sense. But one thing Matty says is true. You can forget about competing for the title because you have to spend money. and Man City are going to keep on spending. Liverpool may spending. Eventually, when we get rid of the ludicrous FFP, which just helps no one, Newcastle might run away with it, because you think about FFP. FFP has always been, like I said, introduced or established basically to protect clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, and stop teams from Man City and Chelsea running away, and stop new rich clubs like Newcastle from competing. So it's as Beyond Belief says, yeah, he's right. It's protectionist racket. It's a racket. But the worrying thing for Arsenal fans is the money Arsenal are going to spend, the budget is going to be reduced. And I think the one thing you've got to cater for is, even if Arteta does leave, either through poor results or because he feels, I can't compete on this budget and I won't be able to win the league, we're not going to get a big name to replace him. Because a big name manager who invariably will only stay at the club because big name managers only stay at football clubs for 2 to 3 years. Fact. You look at all the names we're talking about, your Ancelottis, your Jose's, hand on heart, what's the longest you've seen them at a football club? Longest. Have you seen them do anything more than 5 years? I haven't.
No.
So to get these big names, we're not going to get them, because these big names are going to want a big budget to work with, or they're going to want whoever's in charge of the budget to bring in the best of the best to give them a chance of competing with whoever's at the top of the time, or to keep us at the top. So you're going to get a trusted process manager for quite a long while if we're building this new stadium, because logically you'll be an absolute pork shop if you're a big name manager, you're going to Highbury, the Arsenal, but you've got no money, a reduced budget because they're building a stadium. Only an idiot would go to that club. So forget the league, forget the Champions League, and just hope for a cup run, and maybe hope for occasionally getting in the top 4, because that's the best we're going to do if we build a new stadium.
But Kenny, why would we have to go to Wembley? They've got the road, mate. It's an empty stadium up there.
I don't know. It's money, isn't it? Wembley's got everything, because the reason why you got Wembley, you got Club Wembley. You missed
what I was saying. Oh,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, you mean, yeah. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, but come on, don't get me wrong. This isn't like the World War II period where Arsenal played some games at White Hart Lane and Man United played some games at Man City.
Did you?
Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. You know what I mean?
I know.
Don't get me wrong. I won't say no. No, actually, I will say no to it. I don't want to go there, because right now I've had a shower. But before I didn't have a shower, I had all sorts of itchiness and I was scratching. Can you imagine if I went to that stadium?
Yeah.
I have to scratch and start scratching. Instead that I'll probably develop eczema if I went to that stadium.
You get leprosy, man. You get leprosy.
Much more, yeah. And that's the lowest of the low, man. You go by the Bible.
Yeah.
It always a circus, this club, isn't it? It's like, why can't we just have something nice? Like, why can't we just win some trophies? Like, every single year, something happens. Like, some big story comes out, like, nobody's available. That story. Oh, well, why do you look at me? Because it's your press conference, mate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so nobody is available. Well, we're moving stadium. We can't compete financially. Okay, mate. There's always something every single year. And then when we go and get the money, we give it to a rookie.
Yeah.
Like,
for the novice.
Yeah. And then he goes and spunks 800 million quid of the club's money on absolute trash. Let's just be real with it. Most of the signings we've signed have been crap. Yeah, they're not good enough. We ain't going to get a load of money if we sell them. And we've literally got a couple of players we can get top dollar for. And one of them will be fucking off to Madrid in the summer. Yeah, let's just be real with it. Do you think he's going to sit around for 5 years?
Oh, no. We know that ain't happening, bro. We've seen this before. This is the thing, Lee. All 4 of us have seen this. We've lived this. See, it's easy. We see what's coming down the pipe. The average novice, the young fan, they don't see it. They think, oh, man, this is grandiose. This is wild. Most of them don't even remember moving to Highbury. Moving from Highbury to the Emirates. So they don't even know. So this is like big time stuff for them. Oh, man, this is amazing. This is a new horizon. Wow. This is where they are. We already know what's coming. Oh, here comes a team to take this player. Here comes a team to take that player. Oh, we can't afford players. We buying Yossi Ben Ayoun. We buying all the lowest of the low. Kim Castrom. We're buying Scalacci. We're buying Mustafi. We're buying the lowest of the low. And we're back on that cycle again. This is what I told y'all. I said people are going to rue the day that we did not win that title 2 years ago. That one is going. You're going to feel that pain now because it's going to be hard to get back there and compete on that level again. It's going to be very
to be 8 points clear. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. We ain't going 8 points clear anytime soon, are we?
Nah.
Like with that amount of games left to play, ain't happening.
We're going the other way. We're going 8 points the other way. We ain't going 8 points ahead. We're going the other way. -8. Going backwards.
It ain't going to change anytime soon. Like, honestly, and if this stadium thing happens, the upgrade to the stadium happens, we're doomed. We're done.
You see how Liverpool done it, though? Liverpool upgraded Anfield. Like, they didn't do what Everton did. Like, Everton have to move to the docks, near Kirkby to get their new stadium. But at Liverpool, Anfield in the 80s only held about, 45,000. And obviously when it became more seated, it was about 42,000. But gradually, quietly, if you look in 2016, they increased their capacity to 56,000 at Anfield, and they're quietly getting it towards 60,000. But they stayed at Anfield, and all they did was work. Didn't close off much stadium, but they worked around the stadium whilst the matches were still ongoing, and they did most of the work in that summer. So quietly, they've done it quietly, and yet Anfield's in not too far from Goodison Park. It's on Stanley Park, but then again, Liverpool don't need the corporates, but they do have a corporate body. But Everton have decided to move a new ground so they can their own identity and move away from Stanley Park. But it just shows you one thing about stadium upgrades. I think as football fans, we got to remember anything that happened from 1968 to 1992 in terms of the great years of football before the Premiership arrived. We should treasure that and enjoy it. And then anything after 92, we just have to just pray and hope that even though some of our identity has been lost, that they don't take too much of our identity away. Because every year since the Premiership's been established or introduced, more identity has been taken off us. The club badges have been compromised in terms of Arsenal. The stadium has been compromised because we've got to get more corporates in. The TV schedules, the schedule of games, and the fact that they messed up the FA Cup. These are things that we got to contend with. And I think now, in terms of like getting an 80,000 stadium, don't celebrate too much and just hope that we'll function. We're still going to function, but you're not going to see us winning the league. No way.
Nope.
No. This season, you would think with this season, with the injuries we've got, in terms of and the fact that form's really bad, that this season is probably going to be another season we're going to win it. So next season, if they do commit to the stadium, rebuild and everything,
you know what's coming.
Well, yeah, Saliba. If I was Saliba, what would you do if you're Saliba and you think, right, Arsenal moving a new stadium? They basically told my agent they're not going to spend much money to improve the side. Real Madrid come knocking, you're going Real Madrid.
Of course you are.
Yeah. And then Odegaard, club captain, he may be the next one out the door. And then they're going to try and keep Saka as much as they can because they're going to want to make Saka the face of the club. Because I think the future Arsenal captain is going to be Bukayo Saka. We all thought it was going to be Kieran Tierney, but it's not. It's Bukayo Saka because they're going to make him more and more the face of our football club, offer him all sorts of incentives so he stays during its rebuilding, transitioning period. But the snag is he'll get ambitious as well and think, you know what?
Kenny, we saw it with Van Persie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is going to be the I'm telling you, history repeats itself. If you don't learn from history, the first time you're doing to repeat it, and we are literally repeating the same thing we saw back in the day.
Yeah,
these players are going to get sick of it. They're getting tired of it now, and that's what we talked about it last night. Is that you can see? I can look at body language and tell players are just fed up with it.
Mm-hmm.
These players have been here for 4 and 5 years and have yet to taste true success at all.
Yeah. What do you think Saka thinks about when he goes to England and he sees players like he sees certain Chelsea players in that squad who he knows we've got a better team like Chelsea, but some of those players have got Champions League medals.
Good point,
Some of those players have Premiership medals. He plays along Phil Foden. Everyone's discussing who's the better player at Foden and Saka. Yet Foden's got about 6 Premiership medals and a Champions League medal. Saka's got a FA Cup winners medal, albeit an unused substitute. Eventually, further down the line, someone's going to get in his ear, a family member or his wife or girlfriend, and say, "Hang on here, you need to win trophies." But he'll be already thinking that himself, and I think that's why we've got to be very, very careful how we play this out in terms of trying to, get success and improving, but further down the line, because it's not going to be enough for Arsenal to make Saka Arsenal's highest paid player of all time. He's going to want money because they've got enough money, haven't they, footballers?
Yeah, because you look at it this way. He would. It's going to come a point where Saka is going to look at all of that, like you said, the money. He's going to take less money to go somewhere where he knows he's guaranteed success.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and I would do the same if I knew I can go win a title everywhere. If I knew for a fact I was going somewhere I could win, and I already put in, I put in the time somewhere else. I'm going to go win. It's time to go win because how old is Saka now? 20 what? What is 20? 23? What is Saka? 23?
He's 23, but you think about it. He's been around for the last 6 years. So, and you think with the way we're playing, the way he's come back from injury, you'll never know. He could be another Jack Wilshere by the time he's 27, 28. He'll slow down.
Yeah.
And Wayne Rooney slowed down in his late 20s because of the volume of game.
Yeah.
But you think about it, Bukayo Saka played in that European Championship squad in Germany with Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's won 2 trophies, won La Liga, and he's won the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that he's going to. I think that we're going to come to a crossroads with him. I think we're going to come to a crossroads this summer with a lot of players in this football club. They can say that pain of not winning those 2 years of not winning the title is still on their heart. And then this year,
it should be.
Yeah, I mean, and then you look at this year. And to see that you've regressed, Kenny, this is why I keep trying to show people that we've regressed this season as opposed to the last couple of seasons. So how do you convince a player to stay after regressing like we have over the last year?
Yeah, but that happens if you think about it. You look at the Premiership, with the exception of Man United, Man United, and Man City and Chelsea to a certain extent. Every team that's finished runners-up, they've always found it hard to go to that world again. A lot of it's to do with the fact that they're not a surprise, item as they were before. 2, it's the fact that they failed. I don't care what anyone says. And as much as people say, "Oh yeah, you did well to get a silver medal, well done, unlucky," I think getting a silver medal is much worse than finishing 3rd or 4th, because you got to the final.
That close, yeah.
But in essence, you fucked it up. Sorry, the language. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I make it right. I'd rather not lose in the final. I'd rather lose in the semi.
Yeah,
facts. Yeah,
I'd rather not lose at all, if I'm honest. But if you're going to lose, then I'd rather the semi, because you have all that expectation, the hope. You're deluding yourself, even if you're up against Man City or I don't know, Man United back in the day or whatever, right? Big team, Champions League final, whatever. Yeah, you think, look, like Kenny, you was there for the Champions League final. Barcelona were quality, but we should have fucking beaten them. Yeah, and that was painful. Right. I can only imagine what it was like for you at the stadium, like all the way out there.
That 10 men, and with that 10 men, we're 1-0 up, and Thierry Henry has that chance.
Oh man, I swear, clean.
You
put your mortgage on him.
And all he did, right, is just basically did a back pass to Victor by ear.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
Facts. But this is the thing, yeah. What you were saying about players and stuff like that, yeah. Like we've seen this with Liverpool under Klopp. They were that close to 2 league titles, like missing out by millimeters. Yeah, but in the same time, they also lost the Champions League final. Yeah, so it's like to get them constantly up for it and up for it and up for it. Yeah, but that comes down to being a top manager. Yeah, and that comes down to, listen, we can get you over the line. Jurgen Klopp weren't standing there with light bulbs and dogs. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Lemons.
Yeah, pickpockets, rabbits and ducks and stuff like that. What's better, guys? The destination of the journey. He weren't doing all that crap. Yeah, and guess what? They got over the line. These players, I'm convinced, some of these players have had enough. Yeah, they've tapped out, mate. They ain't got the mentality, number one, some of them. Yeah, and I think that when they hear the same voice every single day, saying the same things pretty much, but just doing it in a more sexy way the next day, and then they don't get over the line.
We talked about it last night. When we went back to the video, what I was talking about Nketiah, and I kept saying, I said, now if you go back to 19 Nketiah, and with the way we were talking about him, and then you come back 4 or 5 years later, he's out of the club. He hadn't improved, but we know who came in that same year to the job. And then you look at the manager. This is why I keep saying this manager is killing. He's literally ruining this football club, and people just don't see it. People just don't see it. This man is wasting all of the talent that we do have. What little bit? Look! We would have killed Lee. We would have killed to have a defender like Saliba in this team in the early 2010s. Man, we would die crying out for a defender like this. Now we got one, and what do we have? What are you doing? Pissing it away. Look at the play. Soccer, whether you think he's world class, underclass, whatever you think he is. Look, he's a decent player. He's a decent player. And look what he's doing. He's wasting time. Trossard, wasting time. All these players he's wasting time with. Him and combined with the Kroenkes and their stupidity have completely wasted 5 years of our life.
The Kroenkes in general have wasted 17 years of our lives.
Yeah, 17. They're even more worse. They're more complicit.
Because let's be real with it. Since they've got here, we've won fuck all apart from a few cups. Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, I don't necessarily pin it all on them because Wenger's got to take a part of the blame. Arteta's got to take part of the blame. Yeah, you could say Unai as well, albeit he was only here for a short amount of time. Yeah, but everyone along the way, all the board members, all the hierarchy, everyone, they've all got to take blame for this. Because at the end of the day, we have always been 2 players short or 3 players short from being the best. Yeah, and whenever we've needed defenders, we buy strikers or midfielders. Whenever we need strikers, we buy defenders. Yeah, and that's what we're doing now. Back in Wenger's last few years, we were crying out for a top striker. He went and bought Aubameyang in the end, but then he fucked off. He left. Yeah, fair play. And then this manager comes in, that striker wins him an FA Cup, and then he bins him. Yeah, now all he's done is just go and stockpile defenders. The defensive midfielders. It's like, bro, we need a striker. I'm not saying Aubameyang's the guy. Yeah, but we need someone. Yeah, and we bought 65 million quid's worth of Chelsea reject. Yeah,
and it shows now. I mean,
you right down there, Kenny?
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, mate. I thought
you were sitting on the floor.
You was doing the old Talking Heads video there, man.
That one's like, hello.
Old Talking Heads video.
I've done it again, haven't I? But you know, the situation is that, thank God for Dane and a few other people at Stamford Bridge, where, we just thought, you know what, stuff it. We're not going to sing that stupid song, that song that, which is a lovely song that's born in South Africa. But I'm sorry, Kai Havertz has been a disappointment. He hasn't adjusted. Yes, he played out of what we believe is preferred position. Doesn't mean that you've got to play crap or average. You've got to give a bit more now. I mean, every time you hear about what he's done for Germany, the goals he scored for Germany, that's fine. But they played Bosnia-Herzegovina yesterday. They won 7-0. England played.
I watched the game. It should have been about 17-0.
England played a Rapid Varane yesterday.
29 missed about 4 sitters, by the way.
Yeah.
He did score.
But the fact is that I know when I go to the game on Saturday, if Bukayo Saka doesn't have a game of his life, Kai Havertz is going to offer us nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, and this is the point. Big up to Riku as well, bro. 12 months. Come on. Love that. Bro. Yeah, Finland are in the mud, mate. I can't lie. They've been getting walloped by everyone. Just talking about international quickly, is it any coincidence that Norway have qualified without Odegaard? Yeah, and they've whacked up the last few teams they've played.
They still got Haaland, though, haven't they?
Yeah, but they still had Haaland. Yeah, they still had Haaland when Odegaard was there stinking the gaff out against Kazakhstan away. I watched that game, Kazakhstan away. I watched this, not the one last night, the one before. He was awful in that game, man. They drew that.
Yeah, don't say it for like top goodness now.
Yeah, he get the ball to him. Haaland was like, keep this dude in, whoever this dude is, keep him. Don't bring Odegaard.
Yeah, if Per Hansen's in this chat, yeah, if he's listening, yeah, he came into the chat yesterday. He said, yeah, that's 9 goals and 1 conceded in the last 2 games. Yeah, any coincidence we qualified without him? Yeah, he's Norwegian. Yeah, he said the other day, he said, this is the best game of football I've seen my nation play there for 15 years, and he didn't play because he's injured. Yeah, they play so much better without him. Yeah, it's funny actually, because I see earlier on Twitter somebody put a clip up of Odegaard sitting Rodri on his bum. I think it was last season. It might have been this season. I think it was last season. And somebody else quote tweeted that with the stills, saying, why didn't he pass the ball forward when he got the ball? He's come back into midfield, spun around in a circle, and then laid it off right over there. Yeah, and put Rodri on his bum here. He had a ball straight to 29, clean through.
Right. You know what? They should frame it, because that's probably the most he's ever done in a big away game. Sit Rodri in his bum, because we know Rodri did play at the Emirates Stadium where we won 1-0. So clearly it was an away game. So I'd say one thing: frame it and send it to your grandchildren. Odegaard busted some school in a big away game away from home. No, that's for posterity, mate. You can't diss him for that.
No, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Actually, I wanted to get your thoughts on that, Kenny. Now we're on Odegaard quickly, because we haven't spoken about what the Norway staff have said when he went out there. We haven't actually said anything on that, have we? Because that happened obviously this week. So basically, let me get the quotes. I don't want to misquote them. Yeah, but 1 second. Smash these likes up as well, guys. There's over 1,000 in it. I'm going live with Craig in about 35 minutes on our new channel, our new podcast channel. So make sure you are redirecting to that straight afterwards. 1 second. Odegaard, Norway. There we go. Right. So this is what their doctor said. Where is it? I'm going to flip and find it now. You can never find something when you need it, can you? Where are we? There he is. I've got it. This is what their doctor said, and then their coach. Yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what Odegaard said first. After discussions with the medical staff at the national team, we have unfortunately concluded that the situation is not good enough to play these matches. Odegaard told Norwegian FA website, I've been through a long training period, and when you haven't practiced football in the last 9 weeks, it's natural not to be 100. I need to listen to my body, complete the rehab process, and get my foot back in good shape. The hope has always been to play these 2 matches. And if I hadn't played on Sunday against Chelsea, then it would have been out of the question to participate anyway. It's a very bad feeling to lose these games. I love playing for Norway with the team. The team doctor said he sustained a complicated ankle injury and needed more time to be match ready again. Yeah, so why did he play on Sunday? Yeah, the manager of Norway said he had a strong desire to take part in these matches, but we cannot risk his health.
Yeah.
He's just literally stitched up Arsenal there, isn't it?
Yeah, but Arsenal Football Club have got involved because simple reason is that it was a necessity because of our poor form, losing to Newcastle and Internazionale. That no matter what happened, Rice had to play and Odegaard had to play. There's a lot of people, a friend of a friend says that Odegaard was in intense training away from the squad, that he was having his one-to-one training. He's been looking sharp, and it was always going to be that game that he was going to play against Chelsea. He wasn't quite ready for Liverpool. And then Rice, well, I told you what me and Dan saw in the warm-up. Well, me more than Dan anyway. There was no way Rice was fit. He could only kick a ball, but that's Arsenal Football Club. But I'll say it once, say it 1,000 times. I think it's lazy of, especially this season, of managers and some fans to use the international break as a reason for the players breaking down. The players are breaking down, not because of the fact that they got a knocking international break. They're breaking down because the amount of matches. because greedy clubs like Arsenal, who were persuaded to not go into the Super League, have now got extra matches that they've always wanted in the European Cup.
Mm.
You know, they've got a proper league. You know, they've got matches going to January. So if you think that we're going to get any players in the January transfer window, you can forget it, because no player's going to be allowed to negotiate, because they're still probably going to be they still got games at the end of January.
Yeah.
There's going to be no business this January. So you think about it. You talk about the intensity of the games, right? Saturday, 23rd, right up until January the 29th, which is the last game of the Champions League, I believe. How many games have we got every other few days? Every week we've got a game every 2 or 3 days. So, and you're trying to tell me that hasn't had an effect on player welfare. But we have a few international breaks, and everyone's saying, "Oh, he got injured in national duty." Odegaard was damaged his ankle against Brighton.
Yeah,
he was injured.
He did. Yeah,
and then he made the injury worse when he went to Norway. He was playing for Norway. I wish some of our fans just put their hands up and say, "You know what? Instead of celebrating the fact you got more games, think about the toll on the players. Why don't you have a go at the manager? Say, why don't you rotate players? Rotate. Doesn't matter if they're crap. If they're crap, it's down to you. You need to motivate them into having that championship mindset. And you can't just have a haves and have-nots. Why is it every club that we watch, especially the big clubs, whenever the subs come on, the quality of play doesn't change? When it's Arsenal, we lose a few players, and the standard of play, the quality goes down. That's down to the manager.
Yeah, and it's also down to the manager playing a player that he knew clearly ain't fit. Yeah, because let's be real, right? We've said this before. Yeah, like if he plays any games before December or before January, he's going to get injured again. He should never have been on that pitch on the weekend. Do you know what's funny, right? When I got in bed last night, I put a stream on, and then when I woke up, I went to the bathroom about 4 hours later. It flips onto Curtis's watch along. Yeah, it just redirected from the stream that I was watching before straight to Curtis's watch along. He was saying exactly what me, you, and Ola said, matey, about Odegaard. Yeah, all the way through that game. Yeah, we're being told that he had a great game.
Yeah,
he said exactly the same. He was like, he shouldn't be on the flipping pitch. He's a passenger. And he was a passenger, but he got an assist and everyone's forgiven him. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. But at the end of the day, from what that Norway coach and doctor have said, that it's like he wants to play. What he said as well was, oh, yeah, obviously, if I didn't play on Sunday, I wouldn't be in contention to play here. So he's probably told the gaffer, yeah, I want to play and I'm fit to play. And they've just gone, yeah, cool. Yeah. So it's on him as well. It's not just the manager. It's on him as well. Yeah. Because he said, that he would not be in contention for them 2 Norway games if he didn't play on Sunday. So he's forced himself to play whilst injured. Yeah, that's fucking mad, mate. Yeah, and then the manager has said, yeah, cool, played him. And played him for the whole 90, by the way.
Yeah, full 90. Didn't do a thing.
Whole 90, yeah, he goes straight to Norway and they say, no, we ain't risking your health, mate. You ain't fit to play football matches. Yeah, so like, what are we doing here? Which one's lying?
True.
Like, because this don't add up, does it? And I'm saying you now, he's going to be injured again.
Yeah, a couple
maybe
of
not now, but he'll get injured again before the turn of the year.
I'll tell you one thing: if you want to, play like that, I expect Declan Rice to be firing on Sunday. I expect Odegaard to be firing on Sunday, and I expect Pat Saka to be firing on Sunday. The logic is, that you will have some rest. So I'm not going to. I want to see them when they come off that pitch on Saturday. Not only have we won that game comfortably, I want their tongues to be right at my feet. I want their tongues to be right at my feet because they're sweating and that. Because I'm not sure, sorry, but that is the deal. You know what I mean? Because and then too bad if we got another game against Sporting Lisboa, because that's another big game as well. No one's even talking about that.
Nah.
Yeah.
So what happens? You can't throw that in the bin because.
Well, if we throw that in the bin, we're finished in that, mate.
We are the Champions League.
We'll be in the playoff. I mean, that's another 2 matches.
Yeah, but Victor Gyökeres fans, I'm sure next week when we do our podcast, it's going to be like the loving of Victor Gyökeres.
But he said he don't plan on coming in January anyway, so they might well just go ahead and throw it. He said
Going to United. He's going with Amorim to United.
Yeah,
I reckon he ends up at Barca. They're moving into their new stadium in January, I think.
That's
their money's gonna.
That's an away game.
Yeah. We got them away. We've got Monaco at home. Yeah, we've got Girona away.
Dinamo
Zagreb at home.
No, we got Zagreb at home on the 22nd, and the last game on the 29th. I think it's an away game.
Yes, Girona away.
Yeah. Who we should beat.
We should beat them. Yeah, their midfielder Herrera went off injured for Venezuela the other night, and he looks fucked off, mate. So I think he's out for a while. And they've had mad injuries, and they've been shit this season.
So, gentlemen,
they've been found out. That's why they've been found out. What happens with
their players, isn't it? So your best players and don't replace them with quality, you're going to struggle, innit? Especially with injuries. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to
big up Jack as well for that super chat.
So this stays right in line with injury. So Trossard, the latest man to get the injury bug, and bro, that's probably one of the worst things that can happen. And now you guess who's going to come in for him? Now you got Jesus, Sterling. Yeah.
I don't know.
This ties into this as well because, like, let's be real with this here. I don't know what Trossard's injury record was before he's been at Arsenal. He's had quite a few little niggly injuries here and there. I don't know whether people are saying it was just an impact injury and they didn't want to risk him. Load of bollocks. Yeah, that was a game that they needed to win. Yeah, otherwise I think they've been relegated and they'll finish third. Yeah, I don't know if they could have finished second. Could they have finished second, Belgium?
I think Israel bottom, isn't it? It's like France and Italy are on the same point.
Okay, so they couldn't have gone any. Yeah, they could only have finished third.
Belgium were third, and Israel
finished bottom.
Yes, Israel going to be relegated.
But how many times do our players get these little niggly injuries, whether it's on international duty or whether it's with us? Because when this comes back to what you said earlier, Kenny. Yeah, it's not about international games being the problem. It's about the number of games that these players are playing because the managers of the clubs and the owners of the clubs haven't done enough to build a proper squad.
And football fans as well. I've campaigned, and I'm going to keep on campaigning. I want the Boxing Day games and New Year Day games. I want them all stopped. That way, you can have a proper rest.
No. That's only like Christmas and New Year.
Have it.
You're a killjoy. Scrooge.
Yeah, all right, you think of Boxing Day, right? As I said on Dan's show, and I'll say it every year. If you've got an actual game of Boxing Day and fans use British transport, mainly the trains, to get to games, yet because like the train companies won't give them the train drivers or the train workers overtime, they don't work on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So how these guys get meant to get the matches? Are they going to be like Dick Turpin and getting there by horse?
Yeah, but Kenny, don't forget, years ago, you're quite right in what you say. All those games. I mean, how many games were the North London Derby on the Boxing Day?
But you're talking about the 80s and 80s. At that time, train drivers, because they were run by the, like I said, our tax money. They were nationalised, national train. They had overtime, and they had for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So if you're a bloke who's hasn't got a social life or hasn't got a wife, you'll probably volunteer to work that time because you'll get time and a half or probably double pay because it's Christmas and Boxing Day. But now it's no overtime. So I don't understand the logic of having these games, especially some of these games when they're at mid. They spread it on between midday, 3 o'clock, 5:30, 7:45, 8:15. But no trains. How do fans get? Don't get rid of it. They find a way. But I just think it's a weird situation where
I agree with what you're saying, that fans shouldn't have to travel to Arsenal. Let's say shouldn't have to travel to Manchester United on Boxing Day for 5:30.
We're playing Ipswich. We're playing Ipswich on Boxing. Or obviously it got moved to the Friday. But if we played it on Boxing Day, how is the fans going to get to London? Like we played West Bromwich Albion on Boxing Day on 2016 at home. How did West Brom fans get from the Black Country to London? How do they do it without trains? it's weird.
I understand what you're telling me, but I don't understand why they can't do it like it used to be. You know, it was like local games, if you want to put it. That's not a great term for it, but it was like teams within cities would be playing each other. You didn't have to travel around the bloody country.
You see, that's another conundrum.
The problem is though, what's the closest club to Ipswich?
Norwich.
In the Prem.
Oh,
Like in the Prem.
Closest club to Ipswich to the Prem. If you depends which way you drive. You're going to go through like the East Anglia, getting to the A10. It's Tottenham.
Tottenham. That's what I was going to say. So you might as well play Arsenal then.
Yeah, but you think about it. Not all Arsenal fans travelling from London to get to games now. So it's Arsenal fans as well who
yeah, but this is the thing. Now, that's not down to the club to sort their travel out. Obviously, they lay the coaches on and that. Yeah, we have to pay for them. Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, you're right. Not every Arsenal fan lives in London that goes to games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, they plan their trips well in advance anyway. You know, like you as a season ticket holder for home games, you're around the corner. Yeah, so right for you just get on the underground, yeah, or get on the bus. Yeah, but for somebody that lives in, I don't know, Northampton to get to the Emirates on Christmas or Boxing Day, sorry, or the 27th in that case, yeah, it's a pain in the arse.
Oh yeah, they're still going to be running trains.
They don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I say it respectfully. The majority of football fans are invariably fans who watch it on the sofa, or watch it in a pub with their mates, or watching their phones, because we watch it all sort of different. So, you know, the best customer for football, the football's best customer is the fan who watches it at home. You know, you'll get the best schedules. For instance, can you imagine it? Instead of watching like The Sound of Music or Tom Thumb, which you should be doing on Boxing Day, you can watch the football.
I hate Christmas, man. I swear, I hate these movies.
I swear, Christmas Day used to have like Oliver Reed. I mean, he gets shut. We all know it's going to happen. You know, we all know what happens to Bill Sykes. He gets to the fight, he gets pushed off the top.
The only Christmas movie I'll consider entertaining is Home Alone 1 and 2. That's it. I ain't watching any of the others. They're the only two Christmas films I watch. They're a load of trash.
No, man. Kieran, you're an armchair fan. That's why you love the Boxing Day fixtures. I know.
Yeah, I love it, mate. I'll be sat here with my leftovers from my Christmas dinner. Yeah, I'll be doing back to back watch-alongs.
No,
because I've not got a life. I've run off and I'm hiding in Spain now. So
I do remember that.
Dodging taxes.
Yeah, dodging the taxes and that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no swimming pools to clean on Boxing Day.
Yeah. I envy fans of other countries. You know, European countries where, you know, they get a break. The players get a break, and I suppose the fans get a break. But don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I loved the Christmas games. You know, I was all for it because at the time, I was round the corner from the Highbury. You know, and I knew we were playing Tottenham, so that was probably just getting onto the 279 or 259. But as I've got older, I've looked at, you know, the performances of the England national side in tournaments, and I've seen players break down. And now, even more than ever, you would have thought that with the increased Champions League, it would be a good opportunity to get rid of those Christmas games. But
do you know what? Sorry to change the subject. I have never. Everyone's saying Die Hard. Yeah, I have never watched Die Hard.
What?
Never watched it.
Everyone's watched Die Hard except for you.
No, I've watched bits of it. I've never watched the full movies. Never.
Welcome to the party, pal.
No, I've never watched them. Do you know what it is? I just get bored real quick. If I don't like a movie real quick, I just turn it off.
Oh yeah, you got to watch Die Hard, man. You got to watch that, bro.
You don't remember Bruce Willis in the vest?
Yeah. No, I remember.
He takes out all those terrorists.
Yeah. He takes the vest off and just boom, it all glows. Yeah. I've seen the clips and all of that, but I've never actually watched a full Die Hard movie.
Yeah, you got to watch that.
Don't you remember Yippee-ki-yay?
Yeah. Right? No, I know all the phrases and all that. Like, obviously, they're massive movies, isn't they? But I've never watched a full movie, full one. Never.
Yeah, you got to watch. You got to watch that.
And it's set at Christmas as well.
Christmas, mate. You got to watch The Great Escape. I've watched it about 1 billion times now.
Hey, what about a James Bond movie?
No,
James Bond movie on Christmas Day. You got to
I've never watched a James Bond movie either. All the way through.
I watched every last one of them. I love James Bond, man.
National
Well,
Lamb
it's films, isn't it?
Vacation. That's the classic, mate. That is National
I've
Lamb.
never watched them. Yeah, Christmas is only good for the kids, man. That's all it is. It's overrated. It's the biggest marketing scam other than Arsenal.
We should, you know what? We should, in this country, we shouldn't even be having turkey on Christmas Day. We should be having beef. But Matty's
I don't like turkey either.
Turkey.
I get turkey next week. Yeah, I get turkey next week, Kenny.
Oh yeah. Yours is next week, isn't it?
Next week. Yeah.
Come on. See, turkey. I don't particularly like turkey. Like people always go, why? And I'm like, it's just I prefer chicken. If I'm honest, I'd rather have a chicken Christmas dinner rather than turkey Christmas dinner. Yeah, and like I don't know. Like people say, oh, is that because it's dry? No, because I can cook. Yeah, so my turkey is not dry.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, it's like you
I know exactly how to make a banging turkey, but I just don't particularly like it. Like, and you're eating turkey sandwiches for 4 days later. Fuck off, man. You can never find a small one for 2 people either, by the way.
I think that's
they're like this big. It's like I ain't eating all of that.
Mutant turkey.
Yeah, it's a turkey on steroids, man. It's about this big and it costs about 50 flipping euro. Get out of here.
You've got to make sure you've got a lot of people help you finish that turkey. But Ian Barron, I grew up most of my life on Andover Estate, which is not too far from Tottenham Park and Seven Sisters Road. So, like the back of Andover Estate goes towards Tottenham Park. The front of it goes to Hornsey Road, and like the middle part is on Seven Sisters Road. So I'm from that area. That's where I grew up.
You had to dodge the middle part. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. There's a police station on the Hornsey Road part. You know what I mean?
No, it's mad. I big up Hengedi in the chat as well, man. Big up to you, my bro. Big up. Nah, Home Alone's goated, man. Them films are sick, man. I love them films. Yeah, like they went a bit off key after the second one. Yeah, and then they changed the cast, didn't they? I think there's about 6 of them. There's about six Home Alones now. What's the point? Yeah, it's not the same. Man. Yeah, it's not the same, man. 1 and 2 are the only ones worth watching.
Yeah, how many of the Rise of the Foot Soldier films have you seen?
Oh, there's fucking shitloads of them as well, isn't there?
I don't know. It's Tony's story, Pat's story.
Pat's story, yeah. And didn't they do one where it went like I think it was number 4 or number 5 or something, but it was like it's gone back to it was just off key, man.
God bless his soul. Colin was in it. Colin Yule. He was in one of the Rise of the Foot Soldiers. Tony's story. God bless his soul.
They're great. They are. I love them. The Essex boys.
Yeah, they're decent. They just got a bit stupid towards like the latter releases. Like how many of them is there? There's about 6 of them as well in there.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
It's really good.
Yeah, 3. After that, give up.
Yeah.
Like there's no need. It's like all these fucking Need for Speed films. I've never watched a full one of them either. Is it Need for Speed? Yeah,
you're
not Need for Speed.
You're talking about
Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious. What a load of shit.
Yeah.
What a load of bollocks.
Yeah, I hadn't watched
real talk. I've never watched a full one. There's about 10 of them.
Yeah, I've never watched one.
You know what?
That interests me.
No, mate, I've just got a short tolerance to shit.
I'll tell you one thing, Lee. I'll tell you one thing. Like your patience, we better win on Saturday.
Ken, I was just thinking. I was like, well, he'll be watching All for Nothing come this Christmas.
That documentary's already out.
Rewatching it again.
Episode 1 of the new documentary is out, I think.
You know what? I haven't watched it. I still refuse to watch it on the basis.
The new one?
I saw it.
The new one. Have you seen the new one? You've not seen the new one, Kenny? They've done one that's because we've got the new sponsor for the training ground. Yeah, I think they've done a 4-part series or something. Yeah, I think number 1 was out the other day. Yeah, it's to do with the sponsor that's sponsored the training ground. So they agreed to do but this is what I said. Yeah, remember I sat there and I said I guarantee they got a documentary coming out because they were doing too much, weren't they? On the pitch and that it was all for the cameras and all that. I was like, I guarantee it. Yeah, and then 2 weeks later they said, "Yep, it's coming out."
Yeah, but you know, like a book. Hey Lee, you know which podcast is not going to be invited to be along, invited to be on it, don't you?
Yep, the same one.
This one.
yeah, the same one that calls the club out every day. Come on, mate. Oh yeah, for anyone asking as well, because I've had a lot of comments on the stream yesterday. I got done for copyright on every AFTV clip.
Did you?
So if you're watching it, yeah, it's going to chop bits out of it. Yeah, because
they immediately do that. They've done that to quite
Yeah.
a few people. They've done that to they did it to Suneh. They've done it to Muhammad, and I think they did it with Colin as well. They do it to anyone. They, let's just say, unless you're saying nice things about their content, they'll immediately go and, get a strike against you and report you. They've done.
Yeah, I got done for every clip I used.
Yeah,
it takes an hour and a half to chop each fucking one out.
Well, you know what's funny, right?
You can't do it.
You're only allowed to talk about that channel if you're praising.
No, listen, fair play. It's their content, isn't it? It's their content,
Yeah,
so they can do what they want. It's affairs.
Respect them, because they'll be fools not to even do it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want someone using your content if they're taking the mickey out of you. You know what I mean?
I was watching that, Lee. You're actually in one of the vids. It was you and Robbie, wasn't it? I was watching it.
Yeah, Matty was in one. Matty did one.
Yeah.
Back in Charlotte.
Matt, you actually on AFTV where
2019.
Jesus Christ!
In Charlotte, man.
You're the only one who didn't sell out.
Yeah, I didn't get a check.
Me, Lee, and Matthew Judas, we're all gonna, I said apply for the role of Judas Iscariot. Whilst you could, you could be another apostle, mate.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's their content. They can do what they want with it, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, Matt. Lee was praising Matty the Mutant. Yeah, Matty. What Matty was saying though was spot on. Yeah, he was talking about Eddie and Nketiah. We can't loan him out because what if Aubameyang or Lacazette get injured? And people that take that and say, like, oh, but you wanted him out. You called him the King of Zamunda. Yeah, that was when he was good. Yeah, in 2018. Yeah, now fast forward to 24. He was shit, wasn't he?
Was Eddie ever good? Was Eddie?
You remember when he came into the team and he was fairly decent. He was young, upstart. He was doing fairly decent.
You're talking about one game against second division, against Norwich City.
He
did all right. He did all right.
He was a youngster after that.
But you know what? He was a youngster. So at that time he was just, kind of, getting his feet about him. But this is what the point that we made last night was that from that time when he came into the team, because Unai Emery was there, after he left, who came in behind him?
Mikel. Yeah, but did Unai Emery send him on loan to Leeds United to learn his trade? Because I know he was at Leeds.
Yeah, he went to Leeds. Yeah,
but he couldn't get
Bielsa. Yeah, you know how Bielsa is, man. You already know. If Bielsa has a short tolerance, so it was. As soon as he went down, he was right back. I think he was back in January, if I'm mistaken. I think he left in August to go on loan, and he was back in January.
He never played a full game for Leeds, did he?
Nope.
Yeah, I think he came off the bench, wasn't he? He was off the bench. He was scoring off the bench, though. He scored a few off the bench.
Yeah,
he never started. I don't think. Started many games.
His current form, though, I'm being a bit of a voyeur.
That's a fine.
No, that's someone. 0800 number. If you find 0800, mate, I'm not interested, mate. Get lost.
No, that should have been on silent every week now, Kenny. This is taking the mic. I'll unleash Cesc on you, mate.
No. But as I was saying before, regarding Eddie Nketiah, if you think about his performances at Crystal Palace, I can't help noticing that he has been starting games for them in the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's not been good.
He's gonna start. He'll start when they play us, and then he'll score. That'll put it
in the cup. And you watch him score against us in the cup and knock us out.
What's the odds of them beating us and knocking us out of the cup?
Quite high because this manager throws them in the bin every year.
Bro. You know, any cup game we play, Kenny, is we're on death watch. Any cup game now is we're on death watch.
And the thing is, when is that game? When is that cup game?
2018, right? Yeah, one of my friends, he's asked me to buy a ticket. And I said, well, I don't want to go and watch that game. So no, buy it. He wants me to buy it for him so I can give it back to him. So I thought, well, right, it is Christmas, isn't it? But I've saved myself for the game, and I'm saved for myself for the game 3 days later at Crystal Palace.
Shit! Yeah, we got them back to back. Wow! Yeah. I just looked. We got them back to back.
And then in January we have one signing coming back. We've got Marquinhos. He's coming back.
Yeah. Marquinhos is going to be the. to go back on loan again.
Was he at Norwich? Was he at Norwich?
Yeah,
No.
he scored 1 goal, 1 assist. Same game, didn't do fuck all else. Went to Nantes, ripped that up in January last year, and sent him out to Brazil. And he's done fuck all in Brazil. Now he's coming back.
Well, he's a player, isn't he?
No, we don't claim him. He's Edu's player.
Edu does not work for Arsenal Football Club anymore.
Well, he can take his shoddy goods with him then. Hey, Edu, you need to come back, mate. We've got something you left in the office.
Yeah. You left the box. You left the box with your stapler. Come pick it up.
No, it's mad, man. It's mad. Yeah, this guy's coming back, bro. Right, what are we doing here? That's the Saka backup right there. I guarantee, yeah. I guarantee we rip his contract up or he'll leave for free in some way.
Look,
Guarantee.
I'll tell you one thing. When you're talking about, stadium upgrades, we're going to be a selling club again. If someone gives us a price on Saka and they say, look, 150 million, the football club are going to say yes to that, mate. That's big money, mate. I'm not saying in today's market, it'll probably be worth that. You think in today's market?
Well, let's be real. If we get 100 for him and 100 for Saliba, that's 2/5 of the new stadium. Upgrade.
And
that's how these owners think about it.
Odegaard, if someone comes in Odegaard and offer him 80 million or 70 million, I don't think he's. I think 60 million be the top price for Odegaard. We have to be realistic now that whatever assets we have, if we're not competing for trophies, then we're going to have to look at the situation where our players will be forcing moves. So we're going to have to be like a businessman and think, right, you want to get out of this club because we're winning Sweet FA. It's going to cost the club that wants you.
But where is he likely to go? Like Saliba, we know Real Madrid are interested. We know that.
The only club for Saka to go to is in world football is Real Madrid or Barca.
Yeah, neither of them are going to buy him. Let's be real.
Saka
ain't getting in Real Madrid's thing.
He probably won't, but we're talking in the future. You think about it. When you look at the history of players at Real Madrid, if a player has one big season, they buy him. Like Gareth Bale had that big season at Tottenham in 2013. That earned him.
Yeah, but do you see Saka having that big season? Because he gets goals and assists and stuff like that, and he's consistent in terms of output. But in terms of performances, he's never had that season. He always falls off at the back end.
But another thing as well, like the club will spend big money on them as well. It seems to be a fashion for English players to play in Germany, Bayern Munich, like Harry.
They need to upgrade on Gnabry and Sane.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, Arsenal fans or enemies of the show, I'm not trying to sell Saka from under our feet. I'm
just so toxic, Kenny.
Yeah, they're gonna clip you up with that, Kenny. They're gonna get you. Kenny's over here suggesting moves.
Hey. Big up to Conrad as well. Do you guys think it's possible Arteta don't rate players of French origin other than Saliba? He took time to trust. Excuse me. I just don't think he likes anyone that don't say yes to him.
And to add to that, I don't think that this football club has a good scouting network anymore at all. I don't think back in the day, you and Northside was talking about it last night, Lee. We could go unearth players, and before you know it, that we've got some players that we can lean on. During those periods that we were talking about, we were selling players. You had players that you could actually lean on. Who trusts our Sky Network to buy anything? We're bringing back a player that Eddie paid $3.5 million for free. He was free. Yeah. Free. Yeah, right there. See, right there. Free. And y'all expect me to believe that Arteta and anybody else is going to go out and find somebody. Whoever the next sporting director is going to be a yes man, just like the other one was. It's going to be a yes man.
No, the next sporting director would be Mertesacker.
Football's a dirty business. We'll probably find out years down the line, and if they look at that transfer, they're going to see all sorts of things that Eddie was offered or all sort of things.
Kenny, the real talk though, yeah. This guy was a free signing, and we gave him £3 million or 3.5 or whatever it was. I think it was euros or dollars to keep good relations with the club. How many players have we signed since from that club?
Yeah, but Lee, let me tell you something about football, especially
You have that, Edu. Yeah, I guarantee Edu's mates with his dad or his uncle.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
but
or some. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but Lee, everyone in football wants a payday. You think about football. There's so many like stakeholders now in football. You know what I mean? And all those stakeholders got agents. Fans have got agents. Let alone, the guy who cuts the grass at his club. He probably wants his cut as well. I mean, back in the day, the people who were getting bungs at football club were the kit man, the coaches, and the manager. Everyone was getting a bung. So what's different now?
It's just done more. Well, I was going to say more slyly, but that deal right there, that Marquinhos deal, mate, that is so in your face. That's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, I'm not being funny, mate. Yeah, that is a fucking joke. 3.5 million. Yeah, and the wages. And then we've just loaned him here, there, and everywhere. He's going to come back and we're going to terminate his contract. Guarantee his contract gets terminated. Listen, we're going to wrap this up. I'm going live on the brand new channel with Anfield Agenda. Me and Craig twice a week on there. We'll have a guest on.
He's going to be unbearable if they win the league. He's it.
Well, listen, if they win the league, everyone should be sacked from every club. Yeah, Pep should be sacked. Yeah, Arteta should be sacked. Maresca maybe he's only just got there. Yeah, and should be sacked. Everyone should be sacked.
Ange's going to get a sack.
Just got there.
Ange's getting a sack.
Well, yeah, he probably is. Yeah, they've gone off him. Why don't they trust in the process? But yeah, we're going to go. I'm going to redirect to that channel. There's over 1,000 of you in here. Smash the likes up. The pinned comment in the chat is Kenny's Instagram. So make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972. Matty's link and Jez's links are in the title. Southern Gooner for Matty and Arsenal history and more for Jez. Jez, what you got coming up, mate? Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on, man. Wednesday night, the weekly footy chat with Kenny and other guests. And then maybe it might be Friday night. It's a show that people have been asking me to do forever and ever and ever, going through a lot of my historical Arsenal history, Arsenal football programme, starting at the 19...
Oh, come on,
mate. Good stuff.
The 1927 FA Cup final, the original for that, working our way through to... Well,
that must be worth a bloody fortune, that.
It's not in great condition, to be honest, but it's yeah. So going to do that. Looking forward to doing it. That might be Friday night, or it might be over the weekend. But yeah, that would be one to do.
There you go. Make sure you sub to Jez's channel, Matty. Always a pleasure, bro. What you got coming up, mate?
Jez, I try to be there on Wednesday. Thursday, I got to work. Friday, I saw it this morning. I woke up. It was hit my notifications for that show, Jez. So I'll be watching the program show on Friday. I'm actually, so I saw that. I was like, oh, I'm a little bit of a collector, so I was thrilled to see that. So yeah, that's it. And then we'll be back for Saturday for Forest. So hopefully we can see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. Kenny, always love my friends. What you got coming up, mate?
Well, I've got Dan tomorrow. And then I've got the Tuesday and Wednesday, and then this weekend, obviously, I'm going to go and watch Arsenal play at what we call the home of football, and I'm going to do a fan cam with you afterwards, and then that's it. Really, I've got my brother's birthday, so we're going to have for a nice little meal on the Sunday at the roast in Borough Market. So,
oh, lovely.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But
before Kenny.
Yeah,
brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely
brilliant.
Brilliant.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I'll tell you one thing: I have to admit, I have missed the Premiership. And yes, SG on the 22nd this Friday, the first test of Australia against India is going to be played. I think it's going to be at Perth. So yeah, that'll be. I'm not staying up for it, but I'm sure I'll watch the highlights anyway.
Mm. There you go. Plenty of content. Listen, it's going to redirect to the Red Mist. Fucking hell, get me words out. The Red Mist podcast. It's a brand new podcast. Me and Craig from Anfield Agenda, twice a week. First show today, right now. We're going live. We're going to talk about Ruben Amorim. We're going to talk about Pep, 1-year contract, apparently being signed. We're going to talk about PGMOL. So that should get spicy because me and Craig disagree on Man City and we disagree on a lot of the PGMOL. So
sniff.
And what else were we going to talk about? I can't remember. But yeah, our Chelsea back. That's what we're going to do. So yeah, redirect straight over there. Spam his chat, our chat with Lee Raid. Make sure you sub to Jezza. Make sure you sub to Matty. Both links in the title and Kenny Ken's links in this chat. But for now, we're out. I'll be back later for a Spain watch along as well. Que viva España. Bosh, Cronky out.
Out. Win out.